Yesterday, I made a video where I talked about how people are running away from Sokoto State, from Nasarawa State. I raised that alarm earlier yesterday. Now, today in the news, more than 50 people have been died in that Nasarawa State. As at the time that this report was coming in, the federal government, the police did not do anything. The army did not do anything. Air Force did not do anything. The federal government did not do anything. Today, more than 50 people have been died in Nasarawa State. The same Jaws that president went to the airport and told them that there's not going to be any killing again in the Jaws, that he's going to install AI cameras. Today, more than 3 people have been died in that same Jaws. There is an audio message that I want you to listen to now so that you will understand what is going on very well in this country. But before I play that audio, there's something I want to tell you that is in this video. Number one, I want you to understand that the federal government will not help us. I want you to understand that the international community will not help us. The only option that we have is the moment we will realize that our lives and our existence is in our hands. The earlier we realize that it is only us that will defend ourselves, it is only us that will redeem ourselves from this contraption, it is only us that will save ourselves from this doom, the better for all of us. Now, listen to this audio and understand very well why this news is not occurring in CNN. Like I told you people earlier, even Iran, that is being bombed by Israel and US, does not record the rate of buying that is going on in this country on a daily basis. But CNN is not reporting it. No international media is reporting this incident. Even the government is doing nothing about it. Now, listen to this audio.
I've been doing this research for years. I finished it today. I kept asking myself, why was it possible that Britain came with the Bible, told us about the love of Jesus Christ, but preferred to work with Muslims, killing Christians? I never understood it until it struck me. It was Lugard, the people that taught Lugard how to, should I say, conduct indirect rule are the Fulani people. Because the reason why Britain respects Fulani people, I wouldn't say respect, I would say admire them, is this. The Fulani people were fewer in number, but they were controlling the whole of the north. That included the Hausa people, the Wari people, the Bachama people, the Birom people, the TV, everybody's there. So Lucan kept wondering, how is it possible that a few men, a handful of people with cattle, not that they were educated, no, a handful of people with cattle, how was it possible that these people could dominate and subjugate all these large swathes of land? Then the answer came in the form of indirect rule. It was Fulani people that started indirect rule. When the Fulanis come, all they need to do is to install their emir or their, basically their emir or Sariki. No, Sariki I think is Hausa. Install their emir. Despite the fact that in a village or in a city in the north, in Hausa lands in those days, you will only find one Fulani emir and his council of about maybe 10 or a dozen Fulani people with their wives and their children. You will see them controlling millions of Hausa people, and there was no problem. Britain now said, okay, it is now possible for me to be, as Wadisi, the district commissioner at the top, I now go and appoint warrant chiefs to be reporting to me. That was why it became possible to rule Black Africa, especially West Africa, with very few white men. Indirect rule, they called it. The first people to bring in indirect rule was Fulani Janjaweed, because you have one Fulani man as the emir controlling millions of Hausa people, and they're all loyal to him. That was how indirect rule came in. So Britain now found a natural ally in Fulani people, a natural ally. I said, okay, if despite the fact that they're moving cattle from place to place, you know, these people who are fewer in number but can control all this amount of people, they must be very clever. And I don't blame them. That was how British and the Fulani affinity, so to speak, metamorphosed into the total conquest you're witnessing today. Now, ask yourself this question. Is there any other country in the world where what is happening today in Nigeria could be happening and that nobody's saying anything about it? Remember, I told you many years ago And as I'm always very fond of repeating, I said to you that the Fulani Janjaweed, they have over $30 billion in their war chest to keep Nigeria warm for their total domination. Some of you thought I was joking. Now ask yourself this question. How come Bloomberg hasn't covered what is going on? How come CNN doesn't report the daily killings? Once in a while they say, oh, school children were abducted. After 4 or 5 hours, that news completely disappeared.